stop it now. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Good evening, campers, dreamers, and babysitters, and welcome to the first official video of Splatterthon Volume 3. Yes, it is time. We have officially crossed over into spooky season, October. Man, we wait for this every year. I'm happy to be here. Luke, how are you feeling?
I'm excited as usual. Once October hits, I mean, hey, we watch horror films all throughout the year, but there's just something special in the year about October, I think. So I'm certainly excited. Can't wait to dive into this list and see what exactly we have going on for the month of October.
Yes, and those of you who've been keeping up with the channel, you know that each month I kick things off by going over just some of the new release horror films you can expect from us. Normally, though, it's a lot shorter of a list. I think the last one that I did was the highest, and that came in at 11. But pulling out all the stops, and obviously, since this is the first time Luke has joined me for this, you guys can see from the title here, we're talking about 31 films. Yes, we are going to be listing off, just to make it clear to you guys, we're going to list off 21 of these to let you know the release dates and just show you a quick little poster and just give you an idea, a very slim, minute idea of what to expect from it. And then once we get into this top 10, that's when you're going to really get into the meat and potatoes of what we're excited to see this month. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This has been a long time to compile, but good Lord, there were so many horror films this month, especially. I mean, like, usually it's pretty stacked, but this year, man, it's crazy. Like, Luke, you've seen our inbox. How many emails have we gotten over just the last 3 weeks of people just, hey, can you review this? Hey, can you check this out? It's been off the hook.
Oh my gosh, we've just been bombarded with a lot of different films, a lot of great looking films, to be honest. So I'm definitely excited for what the month of October is bringing us, because it looks like they're pulling out all the stops. Again, there's just something special about the month of October when everyone seems to be a horror fan. So we're all kindred spirits, I suppose.
Absolutely, absolutely. So why don't we kick things off, like I said, with the first 21 films here. We're going to alternate kind of going off, listing each one for you. And yeah, if any of these stand out to you, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Let us know if you're going to be checking them out before we dive into our top 10. Kicking things off with the list, we have at number 31, Things Will Be Different, coming to streaming October 4th.
And coming in at number 30, Puzzle Box on October 11th, which, you know, is going to be a busy day, so to speak. But if you're a fan of found footage, this one might be for you.
Absolutely. And then moving into number 29 with a little bit of superhero action here, a little bit of that graphic novel stuff. We have, of course, everybody's most anticipated film of the month, Hellboy the Crooked Man, on October 8th. Not 100% sure if this one's going to pan out, but hey, if you're excited for it, I'm happy for you.
Coming in at number 28, Come Home. Now, this one has to do with a couple, so hey, maybe love is in the air, who knows? But this one is coming out October 1st, so it's going to start off the month of October, spooky season. So hey, this one does look a little intriguing. I don't know too much about it, but it's a smaller film. It could knock it out of the park, who knows?
Coming in at number 27, we have a Screambox exclusive with Crack-Coon coming on October 1st. I mean, if Cocaine Bear was a success, Crack-Coon has got to be a winner.
And then coming in at number 26, The Deserving, coming out October 1st again. So it looks like that first day of October is going to be a rather busy day for us horror fans. This one looks rather intriguing. It's a mute serial killer. I don't know. This is some intriguing storytelling, to say the least. I'm curious to see what kind of angle they're going to take on this one. But hey, this could start off October very terrifying.
And also coming to us this time on October 10th, we have our first series to mention on this list, and that is, of course, Teacup. We talked a little bit about the trailer, and I can say with good faith that the good folks over at Peacock have already sent us over the series, so you will be getting a full series review from us on that one before it debuts. But definitely get ready to check this out because it looks pretty spooky.
Coming in at number 24, again, October 1st is going to be such a busy day. Evil Sublet will be hitting streaming services. This one, when a couple buys a new house or apartment, a sublet even, who cares if it's cheap when, hey, you got some ghosts already in the sublet. So I don't know. This one should be, I don't know what to expect here. It seems like it could go any which way. So I'm don't know if I'm going to check this one on October 1st, but it'll be on my list certainly.
There you go. Yes, Luke, you can be honest. We're not going to watch this one. So, but hey, if you guys want to
review,
it's there for you. So there you go. Moving into one I am actually quite looking forward to. We have at number 23, Don't Move, coming to us on October 25th. That one is actually under the Sam Raimi banner, coming to Netflix exclusively, and that one is of course under Ghost House Pictures. Looks really, really cool. Looks like it's a neat concept, and yeah, I'm all for a good Sam Raimi produced thriller. You know, we've had great things like Don't Breathe and other things from him, so let's hope that this one can be another one in the don't category that we actually love.
Coming in at number 22, I Will Never Leave You Alone. That sounds like Dylan over here. That'll be hitting streaming services October 18th. This one sounds a little interesting. A recently released gentleman from prison has to stay in a house, and there's a witch ghost. I don't know. Maybe I'd want to go back to prison in that case. But I don't know. With the supernatural elements, this one could be for you. So check this out, October 18th.
Coming in at number 21, we have Time Cut, hitting us just before the great holiday on October 30th. This one bills itself as a slasher mixed with Back to the Future, also coming to Netflix. So not 100% sure how I feel about this one. It definitely gives me the vibes of a certain movie we saw last year. The title is escaping me.
Totally Killer, and it was
totally
such a fun film. So
it was.
I saw this one creep up, and I was like, you know, it's got big shoes to fill after last year.
I know, but it totally feels like it's in there. So yeah, thank you for reminding me of that title there. So many movies, so little brain space. But yeah, Time Cut is going to be dropping on October 30th. So if you guys are interested in that, then definitely check it out and let us know down below.
Taking the number 20 spot is Down Below. Again, kicking off the month of October with October 1st. This one might be a little holiday horror, as it takes place the 20th anniversary of some Christmas Eve murders. So hey, maybe an appearance by Santa. I don't know. I wouldn't hate it. I need to liven up my my October. We already getting Art the Clown with Christmas, which we'll talk about later. But anyway, yep, check out Down Below, October 1st.
Coming in at number 19, we have one from a director that we already praised one of his films that was coming out this year. I didn't know he had a second. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this one, but this is from director Lowell Dean, who just did Dark Match. But it tells a story of a young man who has amnesia. He bands together with a ragged survivalist in a zombie-like outbreak to find his girlfriend. This one has Frank Grillo in it. I'm a big fan of him. I can't wait to see his werewolf movie with Stephen C. Miller early next year, or I think it's actually in December this year. Oh, forgive me on that. But yeah, this one, I mean, Lowell Dean won my heart with Dark Match and Wolf Cop, so I do trust him. So maybe we'll try to track this one down. We got a little bit of time for it, but if this is something that's really piquing your interest, keep an eye out for it on October 18th.
Coming in at the number 18 spot, You're a Monster, coming out October 25th, which, hey, we weren't getting a Scream installment this year, but Melissa Barrera is going to be hitting your theaters this October. This one looks a little fun, I'll be honest. It's a little cheeky. I'm not expecting anything too serious. It could be some great horror comedy, if you will. So this one I'm definitely intrigued by. I don't know if it'll be something I'm going to rush out to the theater to see, but it could liven up my October.
100%. And I can't tell, is that a werewolf that she's hanging out with?
It's a beast. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm here for it.
Let's just call it a werewolf. We'll
He's a
stay
little
safe.
furry guy.
Little furry boy. Speaking of little furry boys, coming in at number 17 with The Forest Hills, coming out October 13th. This one, we can say we've already actually seen this movie. We saw it quite a while ago, but it's finally getting its release date. This one bills itself as a psychological werewolf film. We'll have more to say on this one as it gets closer, but very small production. This is definitely one that is made from just people who are just out there trying to get it done. And hey, we're here to support indie filmmaking. So why don't you keep your eye out for that one if you like werewolf movies, if you like interesting takes, and of course, stay tuned for our review, which will be available soon.
Taking the number 16 spot, Butcher's Book 3. Again, October 1st. What a crowded day for horror fans. That's all we're going to do is just sit down and watch horror films. This one, yes, we're getting a third installment, ladies and gentlemen, in the Butcher series. This one, classic tale of a slasher of three women and crazy killer comes after him. So, this one, not much to say about it. It looks like a classic horror story. So, if you're already seen the first two installments, which I know you have, I know you're going to be excited for this third one.
Coming in at number 15 with a film we've actually already seen and we've actually already reviewed. And that is, of course, Salem's Lot, coming out October 4th. Yes, folks, we already have our review live for this one, so you can get our full thoughts and opinions on that one. But it's Stephen King, so I know many of you are looking forward to it.
Certainly another adaptation from Stephen King. And of course, we need Stephen in the month of October, which, we already saw. It's a little varying of opinion there, but interesting vampire tale nonetheless.
Yes, as usual, I'm right, Luke is wrong. So
That's
definitely keep an eye out for that one.
And everyone in the comments hates both of us.
Right? Oh my God.
Coming in at number 14. Yes, ladies and gents, October is getting a little freaky on October 4th because Frankie Frico will be released. And of course, we need some puppets in our life, some dirty little puppets, I guess. They're going to take a gentleman on an adventure and kind of broaden his horizons. And of course, we've already seen this one. We do have a review up on the channel. It was an interesting tale, to say the least.
Pretty wild film, I must say. Lots of fun stuff there. Definitely reminiscent of some of those 90s films, like Garbage Pail Kids is probably the biggest comparison, and a little bit of those Little Monsters vibes in there slightly. But I think that this will find an audience, and I'm certain that audience already knows that it's coming out on October 4th, and I can't wait to hear what their thoughts are. Moving into number 13 with Mads. Yes, this is a Shudder exclusive, and this one we do currently, at the time of recording this, have a screener for, and we will be reviewing it obviously before October 18th. But this one was at Fantastic Fest, got a lot of praise. Apparently, this is like a one take kind of horror film about a girl who takes some illicit narcotics and some wild shit starts happening all at night. And yeah, I'm pretty curious about it. I like the idea of them taking that risk of trying to kind of sell you on that whole Birdman-esque one take, one continuous shot kind of film. I think that horror definitely lends itself to that medium very well.
Yeah, certainly. Looking into some research on this one, I didn't find too much about it initially when we were compiling the list, but I got to say, just a little log line that they did give us was rather interesting. I'm excited to see their take on this one. So I'm here for it. I can't wait to actually check this one out. Scooping up that number 12 spot, a little anthology horror, a little TV series being released on Screenbox on October 13th. Ooh, unlucky October 13th. This one looks rather interesting. A lot of big names attached to this one. Some episodes by Toby Poser, John Adams, and of course, the wonderful Joe Lynch. So this one should have some interesting takes in there. Probably a nice grab bag of Halloween candy, if you will, of horror stories. So this one could be a lot of fun. I'm certainly looking forward to this one. I think this could be a big win for Screenbox.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're big Screenbox supporters on this channel. They were taking care of us long before we got in the pool with things like Shudder and Sony and all these other wonderful studios that send us their movies for us to trash. So, I gotta say, this is probably one of the biggest projects from them that I have been anticipating for a while now. This just it screams brilliance to me. Horror anthology series is something that Luke and I absolutely love. And when you're attaching names like Joe Lynch and, of course, any member of the Addams family, you've got our hearts. Our ticket is sold. That's all I'm going to say. And closing out the first 21 films here with Monster Summer. And of course, we're moving out of summer, but that doesn't mean that we can't celebrate at least one little a fragment, just the last little tail end of it with this film here in October. And this one actually stars some pretty big names. You got the likes of Kevin James and Mason Thames from The Black Phone there. And of course, the great Mel Gibson. So yeah, I mean, it looks like it's a good bit of fun. It's kind of got that Stranger Things, maybe a little bit of Monster Squad vibes in there. It could go either way, honestly, looking at the trailer, but I think the fact that it's PG-13 and it does look like it might be trying to lean into some of those films that we've enjoyed growing up with, if they really lean into kind of that nostalgia a bit, I think that this could be some good fun. Luke, I know you were actually quite looking forward to this one.
Yeah, certainly. This looks like a fun, could be maybe sort of gateway horror. I'm not expecting anything, too mind blowing here, but this with the cast and how they can play together, I think it could be a lot of fun. Especially if we're getting a monster movie here. I'm always intrigued to see some sort of creature design. Hopefully, it's a practical thing and not some sort of heavily CGI'd monster that doesn't look great. But this is very reminiscent of Stranger Things. So I'm hoping just something fun, digestible that I can turn on and just sit through for an hour and a half to 2 hours and just have some fun. So this one looks like it has the makings to be a rather intriguing gateway horror film for October. So we have to wait and see.
That's what's up. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Those are the first 21 films. Now it's time to talk about the big boys. But of course, if any of these films strike your fancy, feel free to comment about them down below. Let us know, what are you going to be watching on October 1st? Because good Lord, so many films, so many fucking movies on October 1st, baby. But anyway, let's hop into this top 10, Luke, and let's get some business done. Kicking things off with number 10 here, we have Caddo Lake coming out on October 10th. Yes, this looks pretty neat. We got a little bit of mystery, thriller, horror being produced by the great M. Night Shyamalan, never a controversial figure in the horror space whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, Dylan O'Brien's in this. The trailer, it sets it up perfectly. There's a little bit of some kind of almost sci-fi, dare I say, Lovecraftian kind of mystery going on in this kind of mangrove lake-like setting. I'm all for it. I'm actually quite excited to see this.
Yeah, that trailer did have me hooked. Makes you ask a bunch of questions. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, if there's a supernatural force at play. Hey, you wouldn't have to twist my arm to have some sort of Lovecraftian creature in that lake as well. I was excited to see Dylan O'Brien. I know him from Love and Monsters. We're seeing a little more mature Dylan O'Brien, it looks like, in this one. So I'm excited to see him getting a pretty big role in this and kind of being that driving force. I think, this one has some sort of grounded storytelling, but I'm intrigued to see what kind of horror and supernatural elements they inject in this one.
Moving on into number 9 with, of course, the highly anticipated sequel, Smile 2. And I gotta be honest here, Luke and I think we're both pretty much on the same page when it comes to the first one. Not the most amazing horror film in the world, has some good ideas, but, kind of left us, I would say it's a good one-time watch kind of a film. This one, though, however, I really like the concept here. I kind of like following a pop star. It puts you in some more awkward situations with just how this demon creature kind of operates. And, I think that I'm interested to see how Ray Nicholson performs. I haven't seen him in anything that I know of, or at least it's sticking out to me. And of course, the great Kyle Gallner is making a return here. So you do not have to twist my arm to get me in the theater for Smile 2. I like Parker Finn, and I'm curious to see what he can do with the sequel.
This one certainly has my attention now. Does it have my excitement? I'm not 100% sure just yet. As Dylan said, we weren't the biggest fans of the original Smile, which not a bad film, just not as unique as I think we were hoping for. We've seen that kind of concept, at least versions of that concept in several different horror films. So looking at Smile 2, I'm excited for this concept to see what kind of situations we're going to be dealing with. I think, that trailer does sell you on the concept, and I just want to see what is going to be different about this film, what they're going to bring to it. Like Dylan said, Kyle Gallner, come on. We have us sold there. We could do a top 10 Kyle Gallner performances any day of the week. Ray Nicholson, question mark. He looks terrifying from the trailer. I'm hoping he brings it. But, this one, for me, is a big question mark in itself of how is this going to look after we do see it. But certainly has my attention.
Going back to Hulu land, we have October 3rd's Hold Your Breath. This one kind of came out of nowhere for me. I heard that this had premiered at TIFF and people seem to really like it. It's an interesting take on kind of the 1930s Oklahoma Dust Bowl stuff. And yeah, it could be kind of neat here. There's a sinister presence within the dust. I am really fascinated by that time period, so I'm curious about this one. But honestly, I gotta throw this over to my man Luke here because he was the driving force here for me to even request the screener for this.
Yeah, checking out the trailer here, I just thought it was such an intriguing concept. And just watching that trailer alone, I think it does build some tension there. We have Sarah Paulson in here. So you can expect great performance from her. And then, just this idea of not breathing in this dust bowl because there could be some sort of serial killer in there that can kind of take you over. I thought that was just an odd concept, and applying that to the horror realm, I think you could get something a lot of fun there. And if you know anything about Dylan and I, we love breathing. So when you tell us to hold our breath, I mean, come on, it's already pure terror.
There you go. I can't stand it. It's making my skin crawl. But yes, that takes our number 8 spot. And of course, you can find that one, like I said, on Hulu October 3rd. Moving on into number 7 with Crazy House. Man, oh man, I heard about this one long ago. I think, did we report about this on the Sunday Scaries? Did this make it on there? I don't
think
remember.
Ages ago. It's such a blur.
I know, but this one's got our boy Nick Frost in this. I mean, we love the dude. Alicia Silverstone is in this one. And yeah, it looks wild, man. It's kind of like this 90s sitcom kind of style, and it just absolutely looks crazy. But it apparently gets very gory very quickly. I love Nick Frost. So, I mean, this one I'm excited for. I'm hoping I can make a little bit of time in this packed schedule to check it out because it does look like a good deal of fun.
Yeah, and that's what really I focused on when I saw the trailer here. It does look like a good bit of fun. Kind of take on maybe Family Matters, Full House, those kind of early 90s sitcoms. The performance from Nick Frost just in the trailer alone looks so off-putting, but a lot of fun. And then once we really step up that gore and mayhem in the trailer and we flip that switch, that has my attention so much. I'm not expecting pure horror and suspense, as more so just an all-out gore fest, like something like Mayhem. I think this one could be a great bit of fun, pretty disposable as well in terms of just being able to turn this one on and just have some fun and get some gore. So I'm certainly excited for this one. It's probably one of the ones I am really, really looking forward to that first week of October.
And rounding off the bottom 5 here, yes, at number 6, we have Rippy, which I am so beyond excited for. I mean, you guys know me, my creature features. Luke is here, and he does have to get tortured with this one, but I don't know if it's going to be necessarily torture, because there is a beloved actor of ours that we just love seeing him in so many of these films we grew up with, and that is, of course, the great Michael Biehn, starring in this one about a killer, zombified, kind of sick, twisted fucking kangaroo, dude. Like, this is Australian horror, and man, if there's anybody, any place, any group, any subsect of humanity that can kind of nail this concept, it's the folks down under. Absolutely, they can nail this 100%, and it looks fun, it looks goofy, it very much has those Cocaine Bear kind of vibes, but it looks gory as hell. And I am so excited to see Michael Biehn back on screen here. And if you didn't know, we'll dive into it with our review, because yes, the good folks over there have already sent us a screener. But this is based off of a short film called Waterborne. So if you have not seen Rippy's trailer and you want to get a little bit more familiar with the concept, you can look online for that. I didn't find it, but I didn't really seek it out too hard because I want to be surprised.
Yeah, I've only seen the trailer here, and I gotta say, I'm just expecting a buttload of fun in this one. Like you already mentioned, Cocaine Bear. That one, I was a little hesitant going into it, but as soon as we got into the theater and about the first 10 minutes of that film, it was just like, okay, this is an all-out thorough ride, and that's what I'm expecting here with Rippy. Michael Biehn, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see him in a more modern property. He's done so many great things. Cherry Falls, obviously Terminator. He's played so well in the horror space. I really want to see what they do. You know, with concepts like this, I don't think you're going to get like a film that you're going to be speaking about at the end of the year, best ofs or anything like that. But I think you're going to be talking about this one as just how much fun you've had, some of the gore that you've seen. Now, my big question mark is I was unable to find the filmography for this kangaroo. Now, I don't know if he's acted before, so that's going to be the big question mark here. How is he going to play off Michael Biehn? Is Michael Biehn going to get a great performance out of this kangaroo? We're going to find out here in October.
Coming in at number 5, folks, we have a film that we already have in the bag as we speak. I'm going to hop off of this video and start watching it. Luke has already seen it because it was, of course, at Fantastic Fest, and we are talking about Daddy's Head, which is coming to Shudder. Yes, this is one that we're going to be able to just stream here on October 11th. Luke, how is Daddy's Head?
You know, it's a fun creature feature. I think, you know, looking at this one, I think you can have a lot of fun with it. It's a slow burn, so don't expect an all-out thrill ride for this one. Interesting creature feature. Creature design, I think it's going to go one way or another for you. I did have a lot of fun with it, but it's nothing too in-depth, I would say. But there's a lot of suspense here. The take that they have on that familial element is something that's very different. And, you know, it is a grief story. So don't expect something so upbeat with some of the films we've seen with like Crazy House, where they're kind of injecting that comedy. This one does not have any comedy in it. This one is a more serious film. But I think this one, there are some scenes in here that will definitely leave you talking.
100%. I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it. So that one, as I said, is going to be dropping on October 11th. So definitely keep your eyes out on that, especially if you already have a Shudder account, because you'll just be able to stream it right away. Taking over our number 4 spot, we have Little Bites. Yes, another one coming to Shudder. 2 back-to-back Shudder releases here. And this one we don't have to wait too long for. This one is also dropping on October 4th, along with, of course, all the others we've mentioned. Again, seems like the beginning of the month here is super stacked. But this one, it's a creature feature. It seems extremely interesting. I've only seen very small glimpses of what this critter could look like. Getting some kind of werewolfy, kind of monstery vibes. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We do have a screener waiting in the wings for this one. So we'll be checking it out soon here, and we'll let you know what we think.
Yeah, looking at the trailer itself, that creature really jumped out at me in terms of probably everything on this list from just a terrifying perspective. I thought that one really did kind of hit me in the feels with that. So I really want to see that expanded upon, see what the actual story behind this is going to be. Um, you said, another Shutter property here. This with Hulu and Shutter, I think are really coming out swinging in October. Little Bites, for me, looks like it could be one that I will be talking about even after October. So I'm certainly excited for this one. This one probably hit me more so than any of the other stuff. I mean, the top stuff we're going to be talking about is, the top echelon, if you will. But this one, certainly for a smaller film, looks like it could be a contender.
Now, of course, we are stepping into the top 3 territory, and taking the coveted number 3 spot is another film we got to see at Fantastic Fest here, and our review is already live. Yes, folks, we are discussing Mr. Crockett. And full transparency, we did set up this list before we saw a lot of these films. So this has been in the works for a while. I know that this one was one that as soon as I caught wind of the description and found out that it was going to be kind of this old VHS tape that's kind of haunted, has some kind of entity character of Mr. Crockett attached to it, I just knew this was Luke vibes, Luke coded all the way. And needless to say, it did not disappoint for him, and it did not disappoint for me either. So, Luke, tell the folks your thoughts, feelings, Mr. Crockett.
Just that image alone of Mr. Crockett with the bow tie, that vibe there. Same thing with Crazy House, where it's kind of melding that kind of happy-go-lucky feel with the horror elements to it. It really just works for me. We talked about it, I think, before we even requested the screener, where it had that "Are You Afraid of the Dark?" those goosebump vibes to it. All the things we remember as kids, But Mr. Crockett, to be honest, if you haven't checked out a review, takes those elements that we remember as kids and really pushes them in terms of gore and just all-out horror. And they do not shy away from it. Some great performances in here, a great tone, and they really do take advantage of that children's hosts, that fun vibe to it, and add some demented elements to it. So this one is a good bit of fun.
Absolutely. It is definitely a sweet treat for the holiday of October, or of Halloween, I should say, not October. What am I saying? Been talking for too long. But I definitely coveted this one as the most surprised I was at the festival. This one took that for me, as just blew me out of the water for how much fun I had with Mr. Crockett. And yeah, it does have a bit of a hard edge to it. So this isn't just, for the kids, ladies and gentlemen. This is definitely a bit harder than you're going to be expecting. And I kind of love it for that. So that's number 3, of course, coming out on October 11th. There's no big horror movies coming out that day. So you should make time for Mr. Crockett. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to number 2. And the runner-up for our October list is VHS Beyond. Yes, another one that we had the privilege of seeing at Fantastic Fest. I mean, our review is out there, but boy, this is a lot of fun. I love the VHS series. It is something that I have just recently become an adopter of within the last year. So I kind of went through, watched all the films over the last year, and boy, this does not disappoint. Dare I say, this is one of the best entries that we've gotten. And for those of you who haven't seen our review yet, Luke here is not very familiar with the VHS franchise. So this was his first real true diving in. And Luke, tell the folks a little bit about how you felt.
Oh boy, this was an exciting time for me. Yes, the VHS franchise has been a big blind spot for me. Never really dove into it. Again, not being the biggest fan of found footage. But going into VHS Beyond, I gotta be honest, this was a hell of a ride. The segments in this, for the most part, are really top notch. There's one that really didn't hit for us, but even then, I think it's just in comparison, to be honest, for the ride that they take us on here. There's such a strong one from Justin Long in here called Fur Babies that I think people are going to be talking about. It is absolutely horrifying imagery. And the rest here, Jordan Downey's really hit for me. That opens this thing up. and it is a nonstop thrill ride. They offer you so much storytelling, so much diverse storytelling. They really take advantage of those sci-fi elements and pushing those boundaries. And of course, the found footage aspect of this. I think it's all great. It's all such a fun time. It's such a grab bag of different things. I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with this movie.
I 100% agree with you there. And like I said, our review is up on the channel, so you can check out our full thoughts on VHS Beyond. But if you just want to hold out a little longer, you only have to wait till October 4th for this bad boy to pop up on Shudder. So yes, definitely make sure you're checking out VHS Beyond. And here we go, folks. Moving in to our number one pick for October. It is a movie that we have been talking about for ages, it feels like now. A film that is so famous on this channel and all of our horror friends and colleagues on this great platform. You know it. You love it. We're talking, of course, about the clown himself, Joker 2. Yeah, baby, we're gonna be seeing Joker 2. I'm fucking kidding. It's Terrifier 3, of course. What the fuck else did you think this was gonna be? Yeah, dude. I mean, we've talked this film to death already. Like, we're so excited to see this thing, and it's so goddamn close. I can't believe that as we're sitting here right now, we are literally just under 2 weeks away from this thing finally being within our grasps. As some of you will find out, we have kind of a rocky history with the earlier half of the Terrifier franchise, but when number 2 came out, it was a transformative experience for Luke and I. We then finally worshipped at the altar of Art the Clown, and boy howdy, I cannot wait for his Christmas adventures.
What a difference 2 years makes, to be honest. Looking back, we checked out Terrifier, weren't the biggest fans of it, but we're still going to check out Terrifier 2 out of pure curiosity, but didn't have too much of a hope that we were going to love it. We walked out of that theater, changed YouTubers, I guess you would say. And,
it was like a baptism, you know,
my
saw the
gosh.
light.
And, you know, after that, it's been such a 2-year ride. Art the Clown himself has really blown up, I think, in pop culture. You see him pop up in memes, TikToks, everything. So we have so much merchandise. We picked up our Terrifier VHSs at Walmart, and I gotta say, you know, endless rewatchability for that sequel there. So I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with Terrifier 3. It looks so much fun. Of course, holiday horror at its best here. Art the Clown dressed up as Santa Claus. You can't beat that. The Clown Cafe is open once again, and it is serving up some mayhem on October 11th. We've got our popcorn buckets on pre-order. Of course, it's not going to be here in time for the film. We have to wait a little bit longer there, but we will be there opening night, excited with our Christmas tree glasses, our Santa hats, all the above. We are ready for Art the Clown to kill.
Absolutely. That was beautiful. Well said. I was going to grab my Christmas tree glasses, but I'm rearranging the office, so they're over on that table over there. So, damn it. But we're not going to retake that because it was too well spoken. So, yes, Terrifier 3, October 11th. Be there or don't. And I guess you suck.
You're missing out.
You're missing out. Well, there you have it, folks. 31 horror films to watch in October, and of course, again, the kicking off of Splatterthon Volume 3. I always look forward to Splatterthon. It always feels like it's just a rush coming right out of Fantastic Fest into this. Even though we prepared a lot better this year than we did last year, you know, it's still a lot of work, a lot of stuff. And I mean, this was ambitious, but it's a lot of fun. As you can see, it's a little bit more laid back, especially in the edits and everything for this one. And yeah, Luke making his debut on the films you should look out for during the month of whatever. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like doing this. It's good. It's good to have. It was nice to have an actual conversation. You know, I know we talk all the time on this channel, but like never during this. So it's like I'm usually just talking to myself. So thank you for being here, sir.
Of course,
it's been a fun time.
Looks like a lot of great films, so I'm excited.
Absolutely. So let us know down below, what are you watching on October 1st? Because yeah, there's like 17 movies coming out. No, but anyway, let us know down below, what are you guys looking forward to for the month of October? Obviously, we know many of you are going to put Terrifier 3, but what out of these other 31 films are you excited for? I know that we just said there are a few big ones, there's some small ones, everything in between. I mean, there's just so much stuff to go around this month that I guarantee you a lot of this content is going to bleed over into November for us, because there's only so much time in a day to watch this. But hey, we're going to make the most of it. So that's going to wrap us up here, guys. Definitely give this video a like. It was a huge undertaking. And who knows, if this one does really, really well, if you share this around, you blast this puppy out, you give us the subs, you get us to 10K, maybe we'll make this a part of the Splatterthon tradition and try to track down 31 horror films each and every Splatterthon. So, alrighty, until next time, guys, I'm Dylan Newell.
And I'm Luke Janesco.
And remember, stay scared.
Do the hard shit, gonna do it live. Cause Splattercast kick it every day they live. Splattercast, we slash your ass, Splattercast.